I could sit here, be very angry about that performance, could be very angry, very disappointed, frustrated, all the whatever sort of phrases you want to use, but just don't think that's a fair reflection on, well, the whole context of that game and ultimately the season so far and what we've got left in the season so far as well. I just don't think that's the right reaction to today's defeat at Turf Moor. Ended at Burnley. Burnley 1, Bristol City 0. Another tight Burnley win, am I right? It wasn't really like that. It wasn't really like that at all. Burnley were far the superior side. Bristol City 1-0 flatters us, I think, quite a bit, and that's a bit of a telling story. It could have easily been 2, 3, 4-0, and I don't think Burnley wouldn't have deserved it, if I'm being brutally honest. And yeah, an unfortunate day for Bristol City, but one ultimately we've just got to shrug off because you could. It's so noticeable the kind of difference in quality and just general difference in disparity, complete sea change, complete gulf in class, in quality, in personnel, and yeah, ultimately it's just too much, I think, for Bristol to cope with today, and that was shown in the performance and shown in the result as well. Unable to nick something right at the end as well. For Bristol City, two changes from the win against Norwich on the other side, from the other side of the international break. Sinclair Armstrong comes in for Naki Wells, and Scott Twine comes into the team for Joe Williams as well. So it was back to midfield Turf Bird and Knight, and in hindsight, was that the best decision possible for the team? Possibly not. I felt like maybe we could have done with the numbers in midfield. Brownhill and Cullen and Laurent were superb for Burnley and couldn't deal with them, Bristol City, well enough anyway. So, with hindsight, maybe would how much of a difference would it have made? Would they have found other ways to score? Oh, sorry, other ways to create chances? Probably, but yeah, just a slight, and also Scott Twine and Mehmeti didn't really have too much. In fact, both brought off in the second half. So possibly having Joe Williams in there with Knight and Bird maybe would have made a difference. However, yeah, just kind of a meh, it is what it is kind of moment for Burnley. James Trafford in goal. Egan Riley and Estef have been ridiculously good at centre back. They've got 1,005 clean sheets and breaking all sorts of records across Europe for defensive records. Roberts and Perez were the fullbacks. Marcus Edwards, who was one or two probably high-profile signings in the January transfer window. Jane Anthony on the other flank. Cullen, Laurent Brown, as I mentioned, we filmed Zian Flemming with a high-quality goal for a Burnley side that are operating at a high-quality level. And ultimately, I've seen kind of people learning, oh, Max could have done this, Max could have done that. He really couldn't. Like, I'm not being funny. That free kick is quite something. It is a thing of beauty. Max O'Leary positions himself just about fine, I think, and I don't think he's done too much wrong in terms of positioning, in terms of actually trying to get to the ball. I don't think he did too much wrong at all, and it's just a world class free kick. And Zian Flemming has that's been the difference. And Zian Flemming's actually scored quite a few goals against us, hasn't he? In a Millwall shirt and now in a Burnley shirt as well. So, bit of a bogey player for us. Yeah, Burnley started the game really well. I mean, literally from the first minute, they had sort of the ball on the on the left hand side, and they looked threatening, and they looked like they were right at it. And I think from there on, Bristol just couldn't cope, and there's a little bit of a lull, and then a few minutes before the goal, a bit of pressure. Edwards getting into the game. Anthony was a real live wire throughout the game, not being able to deal with them good enough. There was one moment where Sykes, Anthony just completely skinned Sykes, and kind of just going, oh, you're just holding your hands on your heads, watching, and just going, yeah, can't do anything about that. Yeah, just unfortunate, and then that's a wonderful free kick from Fleming, 1-0, and then after that, again, more chances, more control, more territory for Burnley, just unable for Bristol City to come and kind of get at them. We did it at Sheffield United, where we had the majority of the ball and we got at them and showed what we were about. I think we tried to do that today. I just don't think Burnley allowed us to do that, and that in itself is what happens when you have a golfing class and a golfing quality, unfortunately, in the starting 11. And Burnley, well, I'm not going to talk about the game too much more because I just don't think there's too much point. I just think they were far the better side, had loads of chances. Rob Dickey I thought was fantastic. Zach Miner I thought had a good game. Thought Campbell looked dodgy for 20 minutes, but then had a good game. I thought a fullback's attacking wise, particularly Hayden Roberts, sometimes he got the ball in nice areas and then just made the completely wrong decision. And in these sorts of games, you need a bit of luck. You need something to go your way, but you also need to show your quality when you get in around those areas. Same with Max Bird, who got themselves, to his credit, in nice positions in the middle of the park with spaces opening up, but then failed to kind of capitalise on those final balls. And there were a couple of moments where he could have put Anis Mehmeti through one moment, completely shanked the ball. Hayden Roberts could have put a ball into the box and he tried to cut it back and it went straight to, I think, Josh Laurent. And it's just those sort of moments where you're going, what if, what if? Those chances right at the end, I think we got a little bit better as towards the end. Whilst we were chasing the game, we kind of just went, right, let's just go for it. Brought on George Earthy, brought on Sam Bell, Yuhirakawa, Naki Wells. Tried to go for the jugular, and Naki Wells was in on goal. Maxi Mustaf is a superb centre back, completely shunned him out, and it's just a bit like, oh, right, that's what you're coming up against. And Yuhirakawa had a shot saved with the final kick of the game. That was straight at James Trafford, probably the only save James Trafford made all game, which is not a good indictment of what Bristol City were capable of the whole game. There's an Anis Mehmeti shot really early on, which is a kind of a pop shot from on the with his left foot. But apart from that, very, very little in the way of attacking sort of quality and moments for Bristol City, unfortunately. And that little period at the end where we were getting a little bit better, coupled with the fact that probably Burnley were just sitting off a little bit more, allowing Bristol City to have a little bit more the control in the territory, which probably resulted in a bit more opening. But yeah, just especially with Burnley's defensive record this season, you can't go 1-0 down. It's just so difficult to sort of penetrate them and score goals against them. It's just so difficult. And unfortunately, Bristol City have been the victim of that twice this season. 2 1-0 defeats against Burnley. Ashton Gate, where Jane Anthony scored, and now today with a bit of quality from Flemming. Just that sort of game, I think. And I think it's just one we have to brush under the carpet, because the next game we have against Watford at home is nothing short of mammoth. And then is the actual kind of head-to-head is the... Well, if Watford is a bit of a head-to-head, they're only 4 points behind us. They could go on a run easily. But West Brom at home is the game, I think, to watch out for. Ultimately, for Bristol City this evening, we've dropped down one position. We're still level on points with the playoffs. Coventry lost yesterday against Sheffield United. That was a tough game for them. This is a tough game for us. No disgrace in losing away to Burnley, despite, we've still got some really difficult fixtures to go, though. West Brom, they lost really late on at Norwich. Middlesbrough beat Oxford at home, which is a good result for them, but no disrespect to Oxford, it's Oxford at home. Bristol City lost, and then Watford drew at home to Plymouth, I think. So really not a bad day, I think, for Bristol City. Still level on points of the playoffs. Dropped down position, sure, but still well in this race, and still well within touching distance of Coventry, West Brom, and Middlesbrough as well. So no sort of any ground loss or anything like that for Bristol City, I don't think. So yeah. So in terms of other teams, not a bad day, but it's got to be put down, brush that aside. Lost to the better team, lost to a team that's probably they're going to be in the top 3, might well be in second place, might well win the title. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, a disappointing day for Bristol City, because it felt like we've got the quality to go and get something up there, but I suppose we've already done something against Leeds and against Sheffield United this season, where we've got 2 points from those games. Another kind of game against one of the top sides away from home ticked off. We've only got Leeds away left, haven't we, in terms of away games, and that will be all ticked off. But yeah, a bit of a numbing afternoon, considering, yeah, just all of it, and it just shows you the disparity in quality between 7th and 3rd in this division. There's a lot. So yeah, disappointing afternoon for Bristol City, but Watford at home is now, well, was humongous. It's now even bigger.